Bonjour à tous, moi je m'appelle Hani, je suis votre enseignante de la langue française. Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Hani and I'm your French instructor. First of all, I would love to thank you because you have participated in large number and I would love to share the topic, the alphabets as I have suggested you in my link. So we are going to cover that topic of alphabets today. And if you like the topic, if you like the things, you can like and you can share and you can subscribe my channel, that is French Popcorn. And if you still have some comments, your doubts, you can drop there in the message box and I would love to stay connected with you. Okay, so let's start. Today we are going to do the alphabets, the French alphabets and their sounds and their pronunciations. Now first of all, I would love to introduce the topic. You all know what is the alphabets, as we do have in English as well, but there are some people who are still confused what is the alphabets, what's their pronunciation, and what is their sounds. So first I would love to clear that the pronunciation is the letter, how do we read that letter. For example, in English we have a, B, C, D. So that is the pronunciation of the letters. But if you read a word, अगर आप किसी word को read करते हैं, you don't speak like A, B, C, D, but you read that word and you do a different pronunciation. You and the sounds which come, that is different from the letters sound. For example, the word is A, but if I read the word like father, so that gives a different sound over there. We don't say fa like fa, but we say father because the sound of letter F is fur and the sound of letter A is ah. So that is becoming father. That is the difference between the letters pronunciation and their sound. I hope you have got this. How do we read the word? How do we read the letter? How do we pronounce the letter? That is a different thing. But in a word, how do we pronounce them or what sound it produces? That is called their sounds. Okay, now start with the alphabets. As in English, we have all 26 letters and they are same as we do have in English. For example, in English, we have A to Z. So in the same manner, in French as well, we are having A to Z, 26 letters. Only the thing which is different, that is their pronunciation. So only their pronunciation make it difference from the English ones, from the English alphabets. Now start with their pronunciation. First we will do how do we pronounce the letters of the alphabets. Simultaneously we will learn what sound they produce. Okay, so first is the letter R. In written form also they are same as we have in English, like A, B, C, D. So in French also we do write them in the same manner. Now let's start with their pronunciation. The letter first A, it is pronounced as A. So the sound of letter A is A and we are pronouncing that word as A also. For example, if I give you a word, AMI. So if I spell out that word, for that the alphabets are necessary and we are spell out that word, we will say AME because we are pronouncing the letters like AMI or RME in French. That means frame. But if I read that word, if I read that proper whole word, I will pronounce that as AMI because the sound of letter A is A, the sound of letter M is M, and the sound of letter I is E. So that is becoming AMI. So the first letter was A, and in English we pronounce it like A. Second letter we have B, which in English it is B, and in French we pronounce as B. So first we have done A, B. C is pronounced as say, A, B, say. D, we are having they. So D sound D is the pronunciation of D letter. We can say they, a, be, say they. Letter E is U, a, be, say they, U. After that, we have letter F in English, which is pronounced as F, a, be, say they, U. The sound of E is U, a, be, say they, U, F. After that, we have G, which is called J. A, B, C, D, U, F, J. H is pronounced as Ash. A, B, C, D, U, F, G, Ash. I is E, E. Then we have J, which is called G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, Ash, E. Then we have J in English, which is pronounced as G. So I'm just revising again and again to make you understand the sounds, because that is the first session you are taking here. So A we have as A, then we have be, a, be. C is pronounced as say, a, be, say. They, U, F, J, ash, E, G. Till here we have done. Now we have letter K, which is pronounced as ka. Ka. And letter L in English is pronounced in French as L. Then we have M, which is pronounced as M. Then we have letter N, which is pronounced in French as N. So ka, L, M, N. Then we have O, which is pronounced as O in French also. The letter P is pronounced like P, K, L, M, N, O, P. Now letter Q is pronounced as Q, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. Now letter R has a little difficult sound. You can just listen it. It's like it is pronounced as R. So there is a sound from here only. You can feel the vibration here, and it is the sound like when we do gargles, and the same sound produces that time, and that is the same pronunciation of letter R. So it is pronounced as R. Then we have S for S. T is pronounced as T. P, Q, R, S, T. Now the sound of letter U is U. Letter V is pronounced as V. Then we have X, which is pronounced as X. Y is pronounced as Y, and Z. So I'm quickly revising all the sounds. You can listen the sounds, and then we will learn, then we will see what sounds they produce in a word. Okay, so the first letter is, we have A, B, say, they, U, F, J, ash, E, G, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. I hope now it is quite clear to you. Now there are two sounds in which the people are a little confused, that is E and R. And that will come with practice, of course, but still I can revise those sounds. Letter E is pronounced as U, U, and the letter R is pronounced as R. V. Très bien. Okay, now after doing the pronunciations of the letters, I'll come to the sounds. I'm just revising, I'm just repeating what is the difference between the pronunciations of the alphabets and their sounds. The pronunciation is how do we pronounce that word, like A. So A is pronounced as A. So whenever you are telling the spelling of any word, for that you require the alphabets. For example, my name is Honey, so I will use the alphabets, I will use the letters, and I'll pronounce them. There I'm not using their sounds. Are you getting? So that will be like H is Ash, then we have O, which is O, then we have N, which is N in French, then letter E, it is pronounced as U, and then we have Y, which is okay, Y. Très bien. Now the sounds. If I'm coming to the sounds, the sound of letter A is A. So whenever you are getting that letter, that letter in a word, you will read it, or you will give the sound of A. For example, I'm showing you some pictures, and with those examples we can clear the sounds more. Here we have the, I hope this is clear. Here we have two friends, and friends are called in French ami. The spelling is AMI. So the word is starting with letter A, and the sound of letter A in English is A always. That is the reason I'm pronouncing this word as me. Is it clear? I'm just telling you the separate sounds. So just learn, or just try to understand the sounds according to the letters only. Rest we can discuss later. Okay. So the first word we have is ami, that means friends, and we are pronouncing this word as ami because the sound of letter A is of letter A is A always. Okay, now I have another example. You can see this. Say, okay, it is pronounced as ananas, ananas, ananas. Okay, why? Because the word is starting with A, and again the sound of letter A is A. So I'm reading this word as ananas. Is it clear? Merci. Okay. The second word, B. The sound of letter B, which is B in French, and the sound of letter B is B, and it depends on the next following or next coming letter. For example, the word is, this is the bottle, and in French it is called bouteille. Now first letter is B, so the sound of letter B is B. Okay, I have just told you. And then we are getting the word OU. In this spelling in French we have BOU, and OU is pronounced as U. That is the reason we are pronouncing this word, this thing, as bouteille, because letter B is giving the sound of B, and with the combination of OU it is becoming boo. Okay, so that will be boostai. There are many words you can learn these vocabulary. I hope that will help a lot to improve your vocabulary session as well. Okay, let's take another example. We have with B, it is ballon. So as I have told you, here I said bouteille because the following word was OU, which was given the sound of U. That's why I was pronouncing it as bouteille. But here the spelling is ballon. I hope the pictures are clear. It is pronounced as ballon. Now the spelling is BAL. Okay, so the sound of letter B was B, and after that the word which is following, it is A. and B and A, it is becoming ballon. That's why we are pronouncing this as ballon. That means balloons. So I just wanted to say the sound of the letters, they depend on the next following letters as well. Okay. Now, if I talk about the next letter, which is C, and the pronunciation of C letter was say, a, be, say. The sound which it produces is so. In the combination of H, it is pronounced as sh. Now let's see some examples. The first word, it is called crayon. So the sound of C is k, and the following letter is R. So C and R are becoming kr. So the word we are reading like crayon, and the sound of letter C is k. That's why it is starting with crayon. Next letter, as I have just told you, C with the combination of H. I think now you can see it properly. Okay. So C in the combination with letter H is pronounced as sh. The image you can see here, it's a cat which is called in French as chat. The spelling is CHAT. So CH is sh. The sound of letter A we are pronouncing as A, and then we have the last letter which is T. And in French we never pronounced last T in a word. अगर आपके word में last letter T है, so that is a mute letter. We never pronounce that in the end of a word. So this word will be sha, because the sound of CH was sh, and the sound of letter A that we have done in the beginning. So it was A. So that the word is becoming sha. Next letter we have D. Okay. The letter D is pronounced as they, a, be, say, they. The sound of letter D is the, and of course it depends on the following letter. उसके बाद में जो word आ रहा है, the sound of letter D will depends on that. For example, if you are having O, so that will be do. If you are having A, that will be da. If you are having R, so the word will be dr. Okay, so this is the manner how we read a word in French. Now here the picture you can see, that is a flag of France, and it is pronounced as, or it is called as drapeau. The spelling is DRAPEAU. So as I have told you, the letter R which is following the letter D, so that's why it is pronouncing as drapeau, DRA. Sound of D is the, sound of R is ro, sound of letter A is A. So that is becoming dra. Is it clear? Okay, très bien, merci. The next word with D, it is Donald, because the word is D-O-N. So D and O is becoming do. So we are reading it like Donald. I hope you know this cartoon, and this is my favorite one. Okay, now we have the next one. École. It is called école, which means school in English, and the spelling is ECOLE. The sound of letter E is O, but if we have accent, we will do that accents later. But meanwhile, you can understand the sound of letter E is O, and here we are pronouncing this word as école, because the word we have E, after we have letter C. So C ki sound I have just told you, that is k. So that is becoming a k. Next word we are having O. So that is becoming a ko. And the sound of letter L, which we will do, it is L. So we are pronouncing that word as a call. Okay, the next word, fromage. Fromage. That means cheese in English. The spelling of this word is Fromage. So the sound of letter F was f. Okay. The next word which it is taking is R. So the sound is becoming fro. Then we have O. The sound is becoming fro. The sound of letter M is M. So we are saying fro, M. The next letter is A. That is becoming froma. And then we have GE. So the sound of G is J. The sound of GE is J. That's why we are reading this word like fromage. So basically, the letter F is pronounced, the letter F is pronounced F, and the sound of F is also F. It is like fromage. Now, the next letter we have, say the gato. It's a cake. Okay, the spelling is Gateau. Gato. Okay. Now the sound of letter G, which is pronounced as alphabet J, but the sound is G. Okay. So we are saying the word like gato. Why? Because G, then we have letter A, which is becoming ga. The sound of T is the. So we are saying ga to, and then we have EAU. In a combination, we read that word or we pronounce that word as O. It gives the sound of O. Okay. Uh, Merci beaucoup for your thanks a lot for your compliments. They are motivating me a lot. Thank you so much. Okay, here, so we are reading this word as gato because the sound of G is G. Then we have letter A. So the sound is becoming ga. The sound of T letter is the. And then we have EAU, which is also pronounced or which gives the sound of O. So the word we are reading like gato. I'm coming to the next word. Okay, setanom. This is men om. First thing, the letter, it is starting with H. In the alphabets, we were reading H as Ash, and it is always silent in French. We never pronounce H. The spelling of this men is HOMME. Here, H is silent. As I just told you, H is always silent in French. So we are not pronouncing that H. We are reading the word from O. It is OMME. Okay. And the sound of O is O. And the sound of M is M also, or M. The sound is M. So we are reading this word like om, because the sound of O is O. The sound of letter M is M. And E is also a mute letter when we are having it at the end of a word. Okay, we can do a session on that mute letters also, because in French it is little difficult where to pronounce and where to keep them silent. So that will come with the practice, and of course if you will need that, we can keep a session on that too. Now here, this is om. Spelling is HOMME. H is always silent. That's why we are not reading or we are not pronouncing the letter H, and we are just saying om. Shravya, om. That means men. Next letter we have I, which is pronounced as E in French. Ash, E. Okay. And the sound of E is also E. Here we can see the island. An island is pronounced or we spell out like ILE. So we are reading it like il, because the sound of letter I is E. The sound of letter L is L. And the last word E, it is silent. So we are just saying it like il. Il. That means island. Okay. Next letter we have J, which is as letter pronounced G, and the sound is J. Here it is juice, which is in French called jus. The the spelling is Jus, and the sound of this letter is J, as I have told you, and the next coming letter is U, so we are pronouncing this word as Ju, and the last S is also silent in a word. There are some exceptions that we can do later, but meanwhile you can just understand we are pronouncing this word as Ju because the sound of J is J, and the next following letter is U, which gives the sound U. That's why we are pronouncing this word as Ju. The next letter we are having is K. Okay, you can see this way. In the alphabet we have done, the letter is pronounced as Ka, Ash, E, Ka. Okay, and the sound of letter K is K, and it depends on the next coming letter. For example, if you are taking A, that will become Ka. If you are having O, that will become Ko. If you are having U, that will become Q. If you are having I after K, that will be ki, like kiosk. Here we have kangaroo because the sound of K is K. Then we have an. In the combination we pronounce that word as, it's a nasal sound, an. So we are pronouncing this word as kangaroo because the sound of K is K. Then we have an, which is a nasal sound and which gives the sound of O. So we can say kangaroo. Okay, merci. Then we have next one. It is L, and the sound of letter L is L. The letter was L. जैसे English में we have L, but the sound is L. Okay, so here we have the, you can see the picture. It's a book which is called Livre in French, Livre. So L with I is becoming Li. The sound of V is V. The sound of R is R. And last E we never pronounce. So that's the reason we are pronouncing this word as livre, because the sound of letter L is L and it is combining with I. So that is becoming Li. And we have word V, which gives the sound of V. So, and R as R. So the word we are pronouncing as livre. That means book. After this, we have next letter. You can see this properly. Okay, that is miss. Okay, the spelling of this word is maize, and this is maize in English. The sound of letter M is M. Okay, after that we have AI in the word, M-A-I-Z-E. AI in a combination is pronounced as A. That is the reason we are pronouncing this word as maize, because the sound of letter M is M. The sound of letters AI in a combination is A. And then we have ZE, which is pronouncing as Z. So we are reading this word as maize. Next word we have with M. Another example I'm having with here, Montreux. There we were having the letter AI. That's why the sound was me. Here we have the word Montreux, M-O-N-T-R-E. So M with O is becoming Montreux. Montreux. Okay, that means the clock. And the sound of letter M is M. The sound of letter O is O. So we are pronouncing this word as mo. Then we have next letter, which is N, and the sound of letter N is no. The sound of letter T is the. Then we have R-E. Last E is silent. So we are just reading this word like montre. M-O, mo, no, the, R-E, montre. That means a clock. The next word, N. And the sound of letter N is N also. No, you can say. We in a word it gives the sound of no. The word is need, N-I-D, nest, and we are pronouncing this word as need because the spelling is N-I-D. So the word N gives the sound N. With I, it is becoming ni, and then the sound of D we have already done in drapo. If you remember, let me check that. The word, okay, this one, if you remember, we have done here the sound of drapo. So we were reading this word as drapo because the sound of D letter is the. In the same manner, here we are pronouncing it like ni, the, and I. Sound of N is no, sound of I is E, and the sound of D is the. Okay, ni, the. That means nest. The next letter we have O. The pronunciation is O. The sound is also O in French. And the word is orange because the sound of letter O is O. The sound of R is R, orange. Then we have AN, and I have told you the sound of AN. It's a nasal sound, and we pronounce that as O. So that will be orange because the word ends with GE and the sound of G as we have done. It is pronounced as je. So the word will be like orange. That means orange. The next word I have with me with P, it is first is pom. That means apple. Now the spelling of pom is POMME. The sound of letter P, which is P in French as alphabet, the sound is P, and it depends on the next following next coming letter. Like if you are having PA, that will be pa. If you are having PO, that will be po. If you are having U, that will be pew. Comes out. Here the spelling is POMME. So P with letter O is becoming paw, and we are reading this word as pom because the sound of letter M we have just done. M, it was m, pom. And last E is silent again. So we are reading this word like is like pom. That means apple. Vous aimez la pomme? Do you love the apples? One. Okay. Then we have papillon. The sound of letter P is P. The following letter is A. So the sound we have done of letter A was A. So PA is becoming Pa. Again, we are having P. The sound is becoming P. That means P. And the next letter is I. So the word is like PAPI. Okay, so that will be Pa, PA Pa, PIP, double LON. The sound of double L is year always. There are some exceptions. Okay, so I can say the rule applies 90%, but still there are 10% words where we pronounce it as l. There it gives the sound of l also. Okay. Then the last letters are ON, which are nasal vowels or which give nasal sounds, and they are pronounced as O. So that's why we are reading this word like papillon. Papillon. That means butterfly. Pom, PO. The sound of P, P with O, it was becoming po, pom. Here we have papillon, P with A, P with I, pa, and P, papillon. I hope this is clear now. The next letter we have Q. Okay. And it gives the sound like K. The word is, it's a tail, and the spelling is QUEUE, and the sound is, the sound of Q is K, and with U it is becoming Q because the sound of letter U is U. So we are pronouncing this word as Q. Okay, the next word we are having with R as alphabet, as a letter, we say R. We say like MNOPQR. Okay, as the alphabet, and the sound which it produces, it is R. Okay, so here we can say reglu, reglu. Here we have a little vibration, that is like rob. This one is rob, that means dress. Rob, say ma rob, this is my dress. The spelling is R-O-B-E. So the sound of letter R is r. The sound of letter O is O. Très bien, Nilu, merci beaucoup. Uh, Here we have R-O-B-E. So the letter is pronounced, the letter R is pronounced, or it gives the sound, I can say, of r. And then the following letter is O. So that is becoming r. The sound of B we have done B. Okay. So we are pronouncing it like rob. In the end we have letter E, which is again silent, or we are not pronouncing that. So this word is rob. Next, we have reglu, reglu, that means ruler. So it is again starting with R, and after that we have E-G-L-E. On E we have an accent that we can do later. Okay, so here just we can just discuss the sound of letter R, which is r, and we are pronouncing this word as regular. Okay. Maintenant, nous avons ça avec S. In the alphabet, we have S as letter S, and the sound which it gives is S. With double S, it is also S. With SH, it is sh. So there are many variations, but here, as we are just doing the separate sounds of the alphabets, so I would love to stick only on these words for the pronunciation. This word you can see, this is sun, which is called soleil in French. So first word we have S. The sound of letter S is sir, I have just told you, and the next coming letter is O. So that is becoming so. Then we have L. So we have discussed the sound of L also, which is L. So we are reading like soleil, soleil. Okay, this is sac, S-A-C. The letter S is pronounced sa. With A, it is becoming sa. Then we have C. So the sound of C was k. If you remember, we have done kaye. Okay. So we are reading this word as sak, sak, sak. That means a bag or a purse, you can say. The next letter we have, oui, chez moi, c'est la tour Eiffel, Eiffel Tower, and I think you all know. It is in France. It is in France. It is in Paris. La Tour Eiffel, the Eiffel Tower. Et moi, je l'aime beaucoup. Visiter ici. Ça va. And this is called La Tour Eiffel, the Eiffel Tower. Now we are pronouncing this as Tour because the sound of letter T is T. Then we have OU in a combination is pronounced as U. So the word is becoming tu. The last word is R, and we are pronouncing that word as r. I have just discussed the sound of R also. So we are reading this word like tour, la Tour Eiffel, the Eiffel Tower. Then we have this one with U. Okay, and the sound of letter U is U. It is U. The sound of letter U is U. There's a difference. One I'm just saying U, and the sound is U. It's a sharp, it's a harsh sound U. And here we are just saying ustensil, utensils, ustensil, because the sound of U is U. Then with the spelling, the letter S is following after U. So we are reading oos because the sound of S was sir. Then we have T. So the sound of T was, we have just done here in the Eiffel Tower, that was T, the. So here we are reading it like ustensil. Okay, I hope the sound of letter U and T is quite clear now, and you have you have understood what is the difference between the letters and their sounds. Letters are used to spell out a word, to tell the spelling of a word, but if you want to read a word, their sounds is necessary. Okay, after this we are having it is called voiture in French, letter V, and it gives the sound of v. V. C'est comme ça. Here the you are doing this like under your teeth, and you are saying v. V. The word is voiture because the sound of letter V is v. Then we have a combination sound which is oi, and it is pronounced as voix. So the sound is becoming voix. And after that, the spelling is T-U-R-E. So the sound of T we have done, which is the. So it is becoming with U, voiture. Then we have R. So we are reading like voiture, and the last E is again silent here. So I hope this word is clear. Voiture, that means car in English. With W, with W, the sound of W, which is a letter, the sound is V. And again, it depends on the next following letter. For example, if you are having A, that will be Va. And here also you can see the spelling of this word is W-A-G-O-N. And how we will pronounce this word, W-A, because the sound of W is V. The sound of letter A is A. So we are saying like Va. The sound of G we have done in gato, if you remember, in the cake. So the sound was G of G, and O-N, as I've just told you, O-N, it's a nasal sound, and the sound we pronounce it like O. So the word is becoming wagon, wagon. Oui, c'est clair? Wagon. Okay, the next we have xylophone. Xylophone. The sound of X is, it can be it can be sir, it can be sir sometimes. So there are some little words with X, and that will come of course with the practice, but meanwhile you can understand it gives four sounds, four separate sounds: sir, sir, z, or z. Here we are reading this word as xylophone. So the sound of X is z, xylophone. C'est clair? It's a xylophone, xylophone, because the sound of X is z here. The next we are having with Y. As alphabet, it is pronounced Y. Remember the alphabets we have done in the starting. I hope you didn't forget. Okay, so this is the letter Y, which is and this is the image. It is called yo-yo. Now the sound of letter Y is Y, and depends on the next following letter. And here the spelling is Y-O-Y-O. So we are pronouncing this as yo-yo. Ça va? C'est clair? If you will have A, so the sound will be ya. For example, yogurt is called yaourt in French, and the spelling is Y-A. So that will be yaourt. And here it is following with O. So we are pronouncing this word as yo-yo. The last letter we are having is Z. In alphabet, it is pronounced as Z. Okay, the sound is Z, and the word is pronounced as zebra because the sound of Z is Z. The sound of E in between a letter is A. Then we have letter B, which is B. Letter B is gives the sound of B. Then we have the word R. You know the sound already. It's A. Wait. And the last E is also silent. So we are reading this word like zebra. Zebre, zebra. Now, alphabets are done. I'm just revising quickly. There are 26 letters of alphabets in French. They are just same as they exist in English in written form. Only the pronunciation is different. Okay, one more thing. Uh, as vowels, in English we have A, E, I, O, U. In French, H and Y are also treated as vowel. Okay, and there's again a difference between the sounds and the alphabets and the letters of alphabets are used to spell out a word properly. For example, my name is this, so you will use the alphabets, you won't use the sound. You will use the sounds when you are reading the whole word. For example, my name is, अगर मैं spelling बता रही हूँ, I will say Honey. But if I'm telling my name, if someone asks your name, you cannot say my name is Honey, but you just say my name is Honey. So the sounds of the letters are making that word or making that sound which you are pronouncing. For that, we should know the sounds also. I hope now alphabets and their sounds are quite clear to you. And I would love to say, if you liked the topic, you can like and you can subscribe and you can share my channel, which is French Popcorn. And I hope I'll come with more interesting topics. And if you still want to learn or you want me to make any video or something, any session on a particular topic, you can drop your messages in Messenger or where we are connected. Okay, thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. Bonne journée.